Listening to this station on the free iHeartRadio app.
Portions of the following program will be recorded.
AM 1300 The Zone is KVET Austin. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app for all your sports talk, podcasts, and music. Free never sounded so good.
Okay. Oh, I love you.
Good morning, Austin, Texas, Killeen, Texas, and wherever you may be listening. This is the Hardge Knocks Life on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone. I am your host, Mike Hardball Hardge, and on today's show, it's still championship week, and Coach Sark addressed the media. The latest college football playoff poll drops tonight. Where will the Horns land? The SEC schedule for 2024 was released, and we will discuss. The Aggies announced their new head coach, and he likes stairs. I'll explain a little bit more of that. Speaking of new coaches, the Carolina Panthers will be looking for one, and the Dallas Cowboys look to continue their path to the playoffs as they prepare for Thursday night football. Before we get into all that, let me introduce you to the lovely Shannon B. Sweeney. We know her as Salty. Hello, Salty. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. I had a much better start to my day.
I was just about to ask you, did you fall into any bushes today?
Nope, didn't even walk by a bush. So,
Smart girl.
Yeah, avoided at all costs.
Hey, that's what she does, folks. She makes sure that she learns her lessons. That's what it's here. That's
right.
Why we're here.
It only takes once.
It only takes once. That's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Well, the Longhorns will be playing for a Big 12 championship again this year. It is important to note that Mike Gundy has been to the championship game twice in the last 3 years. Came up 6 inches short in the last game against Baylor, and he wants to rectify that. He had some interesting thoughts about this Texas football team, the defensive line, and what he's going to be up against. But Coach Sark addressed the media yesterday, and as expected, he was very complimentary of his team and all the hard work that they put into the season and what the expectations are. But he also was able to preview what he saw on Oklahoma State as they got a chance to win their game the other night against BYU, which it looked kind of murky to see if they wanted to get there. But Coach Sark addressed the media yesterday, and he gave us his thoughts on Oklahoma State.
We've been on this kick all year. We've been focused on what we need to do and being enamored with what we need to do. I think in a unique way, it's kind of fitting that we're playing Oklahoma State in the Big 12 championship game, knowing we didn't get an opportunity to play each other in the regular season. With us leaving the Big 12 and some of the great games and the matchups that have gone on kind of over the years and historically. So for us to be able to play in the Big 12 championship game, it's kind of fitting, knowing, hey, we're going to be playing OU every year moving forward. So that part's kind of fitting. Ollie Gordon's a heck of a player, and they have done a great job offensively of leaning into him. And he really signifies who their team is. I feel like he gets stronger as the game goes on, like a lot of big physical backs do. A lot of his best runs come in the second half when teams wear down. He has, the hard yards, the tough yards in between the tackles, but yet he has the big play, explosive play ability to create those long runs. And they've got a variety of run schemes with him, and they do a heck of a job out of the pistol formation where they can get to all their runs, and a lot of them look the same. And so your defensive line, your linebackers have to do a great job of fitting those things. And then you've got to tackle. And generally with a guy like him, one guy's not enough. And so our ability to populate the ball Saturday and making sure we're fitting these runs right is going to be really critical.
Yeah, Coach Sark. That was Coach Sark on yesterday's press conference right here on the Hardge Knocks Life on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. It has been important to understand that the discipline that this defense has been able to play with has played a big role in the success of them getting better and better each week. The other part about this football team that has been the most impressive is those big guys up front have stayed healthy. Yep. It's very rare that you have guys of that stature, those big boys that find a way to continue to come back week after week after week. It goes to their mentality. It goes for their will to be on the football field and the discipline in which they play, that they don't put themselves in unbecoming situations. So with T'Vondre Sweat, with Byron Murphy, and again, Vernon, it has already been brought in, and Barron Sorrell, those guys, Alfred Collins too, another big name guy that has done their job to keep the linebackers clean and able for them to move sideline to sideline. That's a big part of the success, and they're going to be challenged with the running game of Ollie Gordon II.
Yeah, Texas defense, and we'll get into it a little later with some clips from Gundy. I mean, they are very well respected by their opponent, and I think as they should be. And again, that week improvement has shown, because that was kind of the knock on them in some of those tight games, right? Where was the defense in the third and fourth quarter? What happened to that first quarter? Why did the third and fourth quarter always feel like you so much energy in the first and second? Where did it all go? Where were those halftime adjustments? So we get a complete game this past week on Friday against Texas Tech. I think a lot of that's going to carry over. And yesterday, not only Sark spoke with the media, but some players did as well. And T'Vondre Sweat, he's just become an all-time favorite, I think, for a lot of people. And in no particular order, here are some of his best quotes just from yesterday.
My real reason I came to Texas, I thought I was going to get to meet KD. I still haven't met KD. I'll probably say Luke Combs, man. He get me going before the game. So once you come to UT, they got all the food you can eat. You know what I'm saying? So I took advantage. I seen the video on TikTok. It was a video of Flavor Flav with that big chain on. And I was like, I'm a big guy, so why not? Murphy, he's an explosive guy. He's short. I'm a little short dog right there. I'm just kidding. And I feel like it was pretty good. But now, it's kind of mid now. I've been eating that for far. Yeah. I kind of know how he is up front, so we'll see.
He's so loose.
He is. And
relaxed.
When you're playing that well, you can be loose.
That's right.
You're not being scrutinized. That was from my man Noah Gross, who put that compilation together over at KXAN. And, you sit there and you think about where he was as a freshman. He was somebody that I was really, really high on. I thought he was going to be an awesome football player. But you know what? It took a little while for him to get going. And sometimes people take different paths to get there. And he finally found his path. And I think he and Bo Davis. Yeah, he and Bo Davis and some of the conversations that they had along the way. In the next hour, we're gonna listen to Coach Sark talk about T'Vondre Sweat and Byron Murphy and his thoughts. But coming up next, Frank Reich is out at Carolina. So who will be the next coach there? And I want to get into this conversation of all these coaches getting fired, but most importantly, the buyouts that are involved in it. Money, money, money. All that right here on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Longhorns football plays here.
It is a handoff to Brooks, and he plows forward for a Longhorn touchdown. Brooks takes it across, and the Longhorns jump on top. Brooks to the 10, to the 5. J.D. Touchdown, Texas. On the left side, turns it outside. Jaden Blue down the sidelines. 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Texas.
Longhorns football plays here on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
Experience the magic of Christmas at listentochristmasmusic.com. Your ultimate Christmas playlist. Listentochristmasmusic.com.
FM 812 at Lockhart Highway, we do have an accident with some minor delays. Looking out on I-35, the frontage road northbound at Runberg. The left lane closed with road construction. I'm Ty Holt with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Mucinex Fastmax Kickstart.
I woke up feeling sick with cold and flu symptoms the other day, and I thought I might miss my son's soccer game. So I took Mucinex Fastmax Kickstart Severe Cold and Flu, and now I'm feeling much better.
New Mucinex Kickstart, all in one and done relief. Use as directed.
It's time to start shopping for the holidays. And while shopping for your friends and family can be stressful, Twin Peaks has made it easy. Twin Peaks Man Cards are the perfect gift for the sports fan on your list. Swing by Twin Peaks to purchase your gift cards today and get a little something in return with holiday bonus cards. For every $25 in gift cards you purchase, you will receive a $5 bonus card. 'Tis the season. Offer available at participating restaurants. Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
With Black Friday savings all month long at the Home Depot, you get all the jingle bells and whistles you could wish for with LG appliances. With America's most reliable line of appliances per independent consumer study, you can take holiday doing to holiday done and always be ready to handle last-minute holiday guests. Final days to save up to $900 on select laundry sets, including top brands like LG, with Black Friday savings at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Ends November 29th.
The Chase Ink Business Premier Card is made for people who make things happen, like me. I'm Sam, founder and CEO of Manifest, a product design company that makes everyday products designed smarter. I get 2.5% cash back on purchases of $5,000 or more, plus unlimited 2% cash back on all other purchases, which helps us make more smart ideas into a brilliant reality.
The Ink Business Premier Card. Learn more at chase.com/business premier. Chase for business. Make more of what's yours. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Account subject to credit approval. Restrictions and limitations apply. Cards are issued by JP Morgan Chase Bank, NA member FDIC.
This time of year, big box tool stores start to sell a whole bunch of not tools, from dancing Santas to plastic trees. At Northern Tool and Equipment, we'd rather sell you a 4-horsepower chainsaw fitted with a full chisel chain to cut down your own tree. And we have wood chippers come January, because you know, mulch. We're cutting prices on your favorite brands this holiday season. Save on Milwaukee, Steel, and Lincoln Electric in-store or at northerntool.com.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Visit 12 Oaks Dental and have their team of dental health professionals show you how your overall health is affected by your teeth and gums. Schedule a new patient appointment today and get a complimentary bacteria test and consultation. Let 12 Oaks Dental give you a play-by-play about your teeth and total health, so you have a dental game plan before your next tailgate. 12 Oaks Dental will give you the winning smile you deserve. Book an appointment at 12oaksdental.com. 12 Oaks Dental, Austin's complete health dentist.
Extra cash? Coming right up. Happy Money is letting you in on a happier way to elevate your savings with an incredible certificate offered by Alliant Credit Union. Smart, bold, and straightforward. Alliant offers a 12-month certificate with 5.25 APY annual percentage yield with a low minimum deposit of $1,000. Funds are insured up to $250,000. Best of all, anyone can apply to join. Elevate your savings today. Visit happymoney.com/Alliant. That's ALLIANT. The APY is accurate as of the 11/1/2023 dividend declaration date. Early withdrawal penalties do apply. Fees may reduce earnings on the account. Any monthly withdrawals or transfers reduce earnings.
Gillette Intimate Trimmer gives you a gentle, easy way to trim your pubic region. Or you could try waxing. Nope. From America's #1 trusted men's grooming brand. The best a man can get, down there. Buy Gillette Intimate at a retailer near you.
Boy Next Door or, ooh, Handsome Stranger. Why not both?
I want to be free.
Pluto TV has channels solely dedicated to love with all your rom-com favorites, like She's All That, Clueless, Last Holiday, and more. It's TV the way it should be, free and easy.
I want to be free.
So choose love and download the Pluto TV app on all your favorite devices and start streaming now.
I want to be free.
Pluto TV. Stream now, pay never.
Most people have no idea there's an invisible gap in their home's protection. Your home, your equity is at risk. This invisible threat is house stealing. From FBI crime stories, and I quote, con artists pick a house. It can be a vacation home, rental property, or the home someone is living in right now. They transfer the deed of this house into their name by obtaining the forms, using the fake IDs, and filing the paperwork with proper authorities. Now they own the home. Once this step is complete, they take out loans using your home as collateral. They can even sell your home. Protect your home from this invisible gap. Check on your home's title right now at HomeTitleLock.com. Be sure to use promo code RADIO and they will send you a complete title scan of your home's title. And your first 30 days of triple lock title protection is free. HomeTitleLock.com. Do it today. HomeTitleLock.com.
Looking for the perfect place to get a bite to eat before or after the game? Vaqueros Cafe and Cantina has you covered. With locations on 360 in Westlake or Quinlan Park Road in Steiner Ranch, both offer the perfect place to pregame or celebrate after the game. We use only the finest, freshest ingredients. Mouth-watering fajitas, fresh seafood, char-grilled oysters, and queso you'll want to eat by the gallon. Happy hour, dinner with family and friends, private events, Vaqueros Cafe and Cantina is the place. Visit vaqueroscafe.com. Tex-Mex done right.
The free iHeartRadio app is your home for the holidays. Open the app and click on the holiday banner or search iHeart Holiday and start listening to your local holiday station. Plus stations playing all kinds of holiday music, Christmas classics, Christmas jazz, country, R&B, tons of playlists, even podcasts. Our gift to you, the perfect holiday soundtrack. Join the millions of listeners on the iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
iHeartRadio.
Join the voice of the Texas Longhorns, Craig Way, each day from 2 to 4 p.m. for the Craig Way Show on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
It's game week, my people, right here on the Hardge Knocks Live, right here on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone. I'm your host, Hardball Hardge. Shannon B. Sweeney sitting in with me. And the Texas Longhorns will take on the Oklahoma State Cowboys this Saturday, 11 a.m. kickoff in Arlington. And the Texas Longhorns are favored in this football game. And Coach Gundy was very complimentary of the Texas Longhorn football team. We'll get into some of that sound a little bit later. But this weekend, if you are not making the trip to Arlington, Texas, and I know that there's a lot of folks that are, but for those that are not making the trip to Arlington, Texas, I would encourage you, and I would love to invite you to come and hang out with me and Salty and watch the Texas Longhorns take on the Oklahoma State Cowboys at Cover 3 Anderson Lane. That's right. We will be at Cover 3 Anderson Lane. We'll do our pregame show there, and we will be there through the Texas football game. So make sure you come out there, Anderson Lane, 11 a.m. kickoff. They're going to open the doors early for you at 10 a.m. so you can get in there, get settled, get your brunch, get your drink on. We will have drink specials as well, and we'll give those out to you a little bit later in the week, but we'll definitely be there. So come and hang out with us. You get to see the Hardge Knocks Live crew as we get ready to watch Texas defeat Oklahoma State. Yeah, that's right. I said it. They are going to defeat Oklahoma State. Let's get into some of these coaches in the NFL. Well, first off, the coaches in the NFL. Frank Reich was the first coach to be fired this season. Well, no, actually, he was not the first coach to be fired this season. Josh McDaniels was. But now Frank Reich has been relieved of his duties at Carolina. Now, this was a situation that when you have the number one overall pick, you have to get it right. And not saying that C.J. Stroud would have been able to go to Carolina and do what he's doing in Carolina instead of what he's doing in Houston, but you cannot miss on the quarterback position in the NFL. And that is exactly what happened with Frank Reich. Frank Reich is a patient guy, but he's been fired from his last two jobs because he has not gotten the quarterback position right. And some people may say it's not fair to him. He was talking early in the year that he was having meetings with his ownership group right after the first game. It was kind of ridiculous. And he was talking about his job security. Well, he no longer has job security. He has been relieved of his duties after a 1-10 start to the season. Not only did he get let go, Josh McCown, who, by the way, Texas A&M was looking at Josh McCown back in the day, and so were the Houston Texans looking to bring Josh McCown in as a head coach. I think both teams did the right thing by not bringing in Josh McCown because now he is relieved of his duties, as is Deuce Staley in Carolina. So, Salty, I know a lot of people don't pay attention to what's going on in Carolina or other than their Cowboy fans or their Texans fans. But when you're starting to see these coaches be recycled, continue to be recycled, this isn't the first time Frank Reich has had a head job, and this ain't the first time that he's been fired. But when you start looking at this, do you think you need to start getting some of this young talent as opposed to always trying to recycle these guys that have already failed in the NFL?
Yeah. out with the old, in with the new, especially if you're going to keep, I mean, Matt Rule was there from 2020 to 2022. Obviously, he didn't have a great record. He got fired early in the season of his last season when he was with Carolina before going back to college. Frank Reich, he was with the Eagles, and
Super
then
Bowl.
he was an OC or just a quarterback's coach over in Indianapolis.
No, he was the head
Colts?
coach.
Okay.
And he
was the head coach.
He got relieved and got Jeff Saturday took over for him.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. He was the head coach.
Yeah.
And that goes back to my point. He's failed at the quarterback position because he brought in Carson Wentz, and I think they went through 5 quarterbacks during his time there. And then now you're looking at, okay, you got your franchise quarterback who's a little guy. And, I know he's a Heisman Trophy winning guy, but he's not thick. He's not a thick quarterback.
Yeah.
He's just a slight quarterback.
He first became a head coach in 2018. And 5 years later, 2 head coaching jobs. I think it's time to go back to maybe working one side of the ball.
Yeah, I'm not trying to
rather
be that
than both. But Carolina, that's a tough situation.
No doubt.
Over there. I mean, there's a lot more than just getting the head coach right.
Yep.
When your star player of years who had a lot of injuries, but he decides, I'm healthy now and I do not want to be here.
Yeah.
I think they had that glimmer of hope when they had a Cam Newton, but Cam Newtoned his way out of the league.
Yeah, he's not around anymore.
And so they've got a long way to go, but it definitely starts with a head coach and someone you have faith in, because it's not going to be any better if they keep playing let's fire and hire every other year.
Well, the other part of that is you have to have enough talent around the players that you bring in that it didn't seem to be working. There's no way that you should be a 1-10 team in the NFL, and you statistically are probably the worst offense in the NFL. They're averaging 15.7 points per game, which ranks them 29th, 4.1 yards per play, which is tied for last, and are converting 37.2% on their third down conversions, which ranks them 20th. So on the offensive side of the ball, which he is an offensive-minded guy, does not seem to be working. You trade away DJ Moore, who has done a good job in Chicago. By the way, the Bears won 12-10. Great football game. Not a great football game. All field goals, in case you were wondering. But they still found a way to make that move. And so now it's a bigger deal in Carolina. Who is going to get that job? And I guarantee you, I don't think you're going to convince a lot of people to take that job. Moving on to the college game, where a lot of coaches have now started to look for jobs. And, man, let me just tell you, yesterday, Mike Elko was announced as the Texas A&M coach. And after this $75 million fully guaranteed contract to Jimbo Fisher, and this is one of those guys, that is, he's boots on the ground, not fancy boots either. He's boots on the ground, not the custom-made boots. He is a traditional guy that wants to work with a blue-collar mentality. And it's so funny because one of his quotes yesterday, and I thought it was pretty poignant to what was happening prior to him getting there. But let's not forget, he was there with Jimbo Fisher before he took the job at Duke. And his quote was, "We're not going to talk about it anymore. We're going to be about it." I say this to my players all the time. There is no button you push to get to the top of college football. There's stairs that you have to climb every day to accomplish what you want to accomplish. My man said he is not climbing. I mean, he's not taking the elevator. He's going to climb these stairs one step at a time, which I think is kind of it's kind of cool.
Kind of corny.
It's kind of cool to me.
Kind of corny.
He's trying to make you
That's some old man talk.
And that's what you need sometimes, because everything else, they came in and they gave them a plaque saying, this is your plaque. Put your championship on there whenever you want to. This is going to be it. Then you come in there and you got all these other discussions that are happening that does nothing to do with football and the results on the field. So now the biggest question for me, because of the debacle that was originally happening when they were trying to bring in Mark Stoops, Mike Elko should have been the guy from the very beginning. I said that from the word go, and I know it's not a fancy hire for you Aggies there, but sometimes the fancy hire hasn't gotten you anything. So why not go back to the grassroots and go back to boots on the ground, literally, and try to build your program and your culture back to where you perceive it to be.
But maybe keep a low profile while you do it.
Thank you. That's why there wasn't no fanfare. The band wasn't there when he got off the plane.
No,
they didn't have anybody.
There were a couple people like, who are we here for? Who is this? Which one of the guys off the plane is the guy we're getting? Which one? There's a couple. They all look the same.
They all come in looking the same. And this is where Ross Bjork, this is his biggest question right now. Is he going to keep his job because of the debacle? But he said that he spoke to 30 coaches and more than 25 of his ex-players.
Sliding into their DMs is not
that doesn't
talking.
consider talking to
Yeah,
them.
it's not chat.
Yeah. It might have been chat AI. He might have been doing that right there. That might have been some. So here's some of the things that he said that he was looking for to build the key factors to find out how you get to the college football playoffs and compete at a very high level in the SEC. You got to have a defensive-minded head coach, championship-level culture, recruit and develop elite NFL-type talent, and play great offense and score a lot of points at a high level at quarterback. I don't know about you, but that sounds like he's trying to describe Nick Saban.
Yeah.
Maybe Kirby Smart.
It's very general as well, but you are in the SEC, so to be the best, you got to beat the best, and why not do what the best is doing?
No, well, and that's the blueprint that you should have had a long time ago. I mean, if you want to win, and it's just like people that want to be good investors.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the model of Warren Buffett. Like, why would you go somewhere else so you could go to?
Oh wait, no, he's not dead.
Like,
that's Jimmy Buffett.
Doing?
How many Buffets we got? If Warren Buffett dies, it is not on me.
Salty's fault. I will tell
I'm
you
so
that.
sorry.
Yeah. R.I.P. Oh my gosh. What is wrong with you?
Breaking news.
R.I.P. But you have to go to the people that have already done it. You have to look at the blueprint in which they lay out for you. You have to follow those things. And that's the funny part for me. For him to say that this is the process that he went through, I mean, are you sure you want to be an AD anymore, especially at Texas A&M University? Because right now, I think a lot of people are pissed off at him.
Yeah, you talk about blueprint and that you need one. I don't think he had one originally with Jimbo, and then one never was completed when Jimbo got there. And so if you're going to do this right this time, you've got to start somewhere and getting that drawn up and saying, this is how we're going to do things. And then that makes it easier to correct when things don't go well.
No doubt. And speaking of that, when they don't go well, let's not forget Jimbo Fisher is getting paid $76 million to go away. Indiana's Tom Allen, who was also relieved of his duties, is getting $15.5 million to go away. Dana Holgerson, who has been relieved of his duties, $14.8 million to go away. Zach Arnett from Mississippi State, $4.5 million. Dino Babers, $4 million. Boise State's coach, who just got relieved, Andy Avalos, $3 million. New Mexico's Danny Gonzalez, $400,000 to go away. There has been over $118 million in salaries that are being paid to fired football coach. And last year's or 2 years ago, $94 million was the record in 21. Now this number continues to go up. Oh yeah, let's not forget the $80 million buyout money that Mel Tucker is going to get for being fired. The school is so far off the hook on that lump sum because of the sexual harassment story that was happening with Brenda Tracy. But for the most part, that is a ton of money to go away from doing your job at the prior university.
I got into the wrong profession. I think I could be a below 500 coach just like they are. And I would gladly take that money to go away.
I think you would be pretty good at under 500. I would look at it, especially because you just tried to put somebody else under the ground.
Who said that?
Can't believe she said that.
R.I.P.
Yeah, no doubt. You're listening to the Hardge Knocks Life right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. When we come back, we've got the salty one, And hopefully she doesn't say anybody else has passed right here for her shakedown right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone.
Longhorns football plays here. Turns hands to Brooks to the left side. JB is across. Touchdown, Texas. Got the first down, breaks a tackle to the 40. Say goodnight to this one. C.J. Baxter on 4th and 1. That's 53 more. A 54-yard touchdown run. Touchdown, Texas. It only takes a Longhorns one play to cash in.
Longhorns football plays here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone.
Experience the magic of Christmas at listentochristmasmusic.com. Your ultimate Christmas playlist. Listentochristmasmusic.com.
FM 812 at Lockhart Highway, we do have an accident with some minor delays. Looking out on I-35, the frontage road northbound at Runberg. The left lane closed with road construction. I'm Ty Holt with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by eBay Motors. eBay Motors is here for the ride with the parts you need for the prices you want. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, it's guaranteed to fit your ride the first time, every time, or your money back. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
It's Longhorn football season and time to grab an ice cold Bud Light. Bud Light was brewed to be a delicious and easy to drink beer, even when the little things in life are hard, like when the game is going into overtime, but you have even more time to enjoy it, and a fresh Bud Light. Bud Light, an official sponsor of Texas Athletics. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Pick up Bud Light at your local retailer today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Shannon Salty Sweeney here, and if you have an entire team to feed this season, get to Golden Chick and grab one of their Golden Box bundles. Perfect for tailgating, holiday parties, or a family gathering, the Golden Box bundles are winners. Choose from original golden tenders, spicy wicked wings, or the holiday sampler box with a mix of chicken and tenders. Each bundle comes with 2 family sides and 8 fresh-baked rolls, all for just $36.99. 'Tis the season for Golden Chick and Golden Box bundles.
At EasyCater, we know ordering food for work can get complicated pretty fast.
We're going to need breakfast for the entire office on Thursday.
Janet wants really nice bagels.
Make sure some are gluten-free.
Make sure they have great coffee.
Can there also be waffles?
Janet has a hard stop at 9:30.
$15 a person
I'm going to need
max.
itemized receipts for this. Is the budget for breakfast different than the budget? We're just going to grab it. Fine. Company breakfast? Just use EasyCater. Food for work delivered on time as ordered with a huge variety. 100,000 restaurants, one platform. Order 24/7 at easycater.com.
Okay, next time you're at the store, I dare you to not think about the unmistakable fresh, clean scent of Irish Spring. Yeah, you heard me. I want you to resist picturing a shower filled with those sensational Irish Spring suds. And if you succeed, well, you got what my gramps used to call resolutitude. Not a real word. But let's be honest, you're probably going to end up leaving with Irish Spring because of its irresistible scent and because you have zero resolutitude. Pick up Irish Spring today.
What's up, everybody? I'm back with year 2 of my podcast, The Season with Peter Schrager. In each episode of this season, I'm going to take you inside and behind the scenes on the conversations that happen at the highest levels of NFL franchises. We'll bring in top GMs and coaches and give you the story behind the story that you're probably not getting anywhere else. Each week, I'll bring you conversations on the inside and give you the chance to get to know your favorite personalities in a different way. Listen to The Season with Peter Schrager on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
How's your money feeling? It's about to feel happier with a certificate from Happy Money's partner, Alliant Credit Union. Elevate and increase your savings with 12-month terms and only $1,000 minimum. And the happiest part? Alliant certificates yield 5.25% APY annual percentage yield. Now that's a happier side of money. Elevate your savings. Go to happymoney.com/Alliant. That's ALLIANT. Funds insured up to $250,000 by NCUA. The APY is accurate as of the 11/1/2023 dividend declaration date. Early withdrawal penalties do apply. Fees may reduce earnings on the account. Any monthly withdrawals or transfers reduce earnings.
Hey, I'm Jackie, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit is the chicken. It is golden brown, so juicy, so delicious. It's the perfect savory start to my day.
Hey, I'm Matt, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit is the freshly baked, flaky, buttery biscuit. When I take a bite, it's kind of like, crispy, soft, crispy. Crispy outside, soft interior, crispy chicken. There's really nothing like it.
Order a Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit and Simply Orange Juice on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
This holiday season, spread the joy to family and friends by filling your hopper with Kingsford Hardwood Pellets. Kingsford Hardwood Pellets delivers excellent performance in any pellet grill and adds an authentic wood-fired flavor to your holiday meals. From favorites like prime rib to mac and cheese, your family will crown you grilling royalty. Trust Kingsford, America's grilling expert with over 100 years of expertise in flavor and quality. Make Kingsford Hardwood Pellets your grilling holiday go-to. Visit Kingsford.com.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there, and around there, and even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
Darius, look who just figured out how to find my Medicare plan options. Just typed in my zip code and boom.
This is not just a search tool. Look at you go, Mom. This is Walgreens making it easy to find a Medicare plan with low-cost copays. During open enrollment, use Walgreens Find RX coverage to help you find the right Medicare plan for you. This is being independent. Together. Walgreens.
In this week's Marketers Report, Raja Manar, Chief Marketing and Communications Officer of MasterCard, talks about measurement.
Measuring Sonic and Sonic branding, the principles of measurement are the same, but the parameters that you measure are different. We measured, and what we find is our investment is paying for itself in oodles.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, trusted influencers, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com. CW Sports is taking you to court. Saturdays, the CW is your new destination for ACC basketball.
It's exciting. It's humbling. We have a crazy, incredible team.
And it all starts with a doubleheader when Miami takes on Notre Dame.
We got what it takes to win. We're ready.
Then Georgia Tech will go toe-to-toe with Duke.
Our goal is to win the national championship.
The CW's bringing you all of the ACC action.
It's going to be a great year.
It's Courtside Saturday this week on the CW.
From the ABA Heating and Cooling Weather Center, this is Zone Weather.
Your Austin area weather calling for a mix of sun and clouds for your Tuesday, a high near 60, partly cloudy tonight, a low of 43. Wednesday, cloudy conditions, a high in the upper 50s. Tomorrow night's low, 55.
This report is sponsored by KFC. KFC's 2 for $5 chicken wraps. 'Tis the season for tasty goodness with KFC's new mac and cheese, classic and spicy slaw chicken wraps. Did they mention you can get any 2 for only $5? It's finger licking good.
The free iHeartRadio app is #1 for music, radio, and podcasts all in one. Discover a new podcast from our library of hundreds of thousands of titles. Here's an iHeartRadio podcast preview.
Anybody's ever walked to a rail and watched the horses run? It really is remarkable. There's moments that it seems that all 4 feet are off the ground, that they're flying.
Can you imagine a world in which there is no horse racing?
Oh, yeah. They're close to being out of business.
From ESPN Investigates comes Bloodlines.
Listen and follow this podcast for free on the iHeartRadio app. #1 for music, radio, and podcasts, all in one app.
Listen to Mike Hardball Hardge weekdays from 6 to 8 a.m. on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone.
Welcome back to the Hard Knocks Live right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. We want you to be a part of the show, so why don't you do us a favor and send us a text. And how do you do that? You text the word Texas followed by your message to 81530. That's Texas and your message to the number 81530. Standard message and data rates will apply. But joining us right now is the one, the only, Shannon B. Sweeney, but we give her special segment called the Salty Shakedown. Salty, take it away.
All right, Hardge. This is a story that you actually alerted me to, and I wanted to share it and put it in this segment. It's a happy story, and also I found it kind of weird and maybe a little insulting, but we'll get right into it here. The Washington Huskies, of course, won their rivalry game against Washington State over the weekend. A lot of people like myself were kind of rooting for the demise of the Huskies because it would have just helped Texas move up in the rankings. But they won with a last-minute go-ahead field goal win from their kicker, Grady Gross. And apparently he was not on scholarship because after the game-winning kick, the Huskies head coach, Kalen DeBoer, made the announcement that the sophomore was going to get a scholarship.
Scully!
I feel like a kicker is a pretty important part of the team. You know, we talked about Bert Auburn. He had half of Texas's points at one point during the game against Texas Tech. I'm pretty sure he's got a scholarship. Why doesn't this kid? Why don't all kickers, at least one kicker on the team, needs to have a scholarship?
Well, a lot of times, depending on the kicker and his situation, because a lot of people can come in and they're not scholarship athletes. A lot of times the kickers aren't scholarship athletes.
I did not know that. That is shocking to me, and I don't believe in it.
Right.
I think they all, if you're going to be a prominent player on the field, I think you deserve to have that scholarship. That head coach, he went into the locker room and he said, "It's Thanksgiving weekend. I'm thankful for Grady Gross, and I hope Grady Gross is thankful for the scholarship he's earned." So at least he didn't have one before; he's got one now. So congratulations. I guess maybe don't miss a kick because they'll take it back away from you. They'll say, just kidding. You don't actually deserve this anymore. All right, moving over to another big game from the weekend. Of course, we talked about Michigan, Ohio State, and the big rivalry game. Michigan ends up winning, and they're heading to the Big Ten championship game. And this, of course, was also the last game of John, the Harbaugh brother. This is his last game, serving a suspension, of course, for Spygate, of what it has now been dubbed. And there was a flyover, Hardge, and you were showing me the picture of the flyover this morning, not knowing that we were going to be discussing it here during the shakedown. And you said, look how cool this is, this giant white plane, overhead shot. So you see the plane in a completely filled Michigan stadium. Well, we now know that this was very much planned and a perfectly executed troll job by Michigan, because that plane there that you will see if you look this up, the plane flying over Michigan Stadium, is a Boeing P-8 Poseidon, also known as a Navy spy plane.
What?
Michigan trolling, I guess, themselves in this way, maybe, and to do it at one of your biggest games of the year, to say, yeah, we're doing a flyover and we're leaving nothing behind. Go ahead and send us a spy plane.
That is pretty funny, though. I find that talented. I found that a professional trolling at its best.
I mean, I'm not sure what the halftime performances look like, but if we could have had like a 007 theme music or something like that from the Michigan band, that would have been, just go all in. So I do enjoy that. And in some way they are finding humor in it all. It's also easy when you're winning and not losing, because that wouldn't make it any fun. But a spy plane used as the flyover.
I love it.
Vessel for the Michigan Ohio State game. Finally today here, Hardge, I want to talk about AI.
Okay.
We joked about it earlier that maybe some coaching conversations weren't really had. Maybe they were just AI messages. We talked even a couple weeks ago, not using AI, but sideline reporters making up stories. Well, now we have Sports Illustrated, which, of course, they no longer have the hardcover magazine. It's all digital. And apparently it's so digital that a lot of stories that have been posted have been created by AI.
Come on.
And not only that, because they didn't want people to really realize that these weren't written by real people, they also created fake journalists using AI and fake photos and profiles for these journalists.
Come on.
And when people started to dig around,
doing the research,
Sports Illustrated, somehow those articles are no longer able to be found.
Come on.
But Sports Illustrated, this is almost like we had the sideline story. Now we have this.
Are those fake Sports Illustrated models too? Are those,
on the swimsuit edition?
Swimsuit edition.
Coming to a magazine near you, maybe in the future.
Maybe.
They're probably a lot cheaper.
No doubt. But you're telling me that the articles that we have been able to read most recently have been generated by AI?
Yes. And they went as far to create fake journalists that wrote these stories. One of them, Drew Dritz.
That sounds like a fake name.
His profile picture that also generated by AI, I mean, it looks like you put like a Frankenstein together, just a lot of different people's faces. Also Sora Tanaka, also fake. So if you still see any stories out there by them, just know those are not humans. Those are bots.
Come on. That to me is the way that the world now has been operating. And what I mean by that is every time you see a story, remember, all the people that probably are following you sometimes, they're generally bots. And I thought that was supposed to be cleaned up. I thought that was going to be something that was no longer in existence. But now you are telling me that we're reading articles. Are these the same people that will be voting tonight for the committee to tell us where our playoff rankings are?
Yeah.
Are we going to have bots doing that as well?
Sometimes it feels like we already are, but that's not up to me. Sports Illustrated Union has responded saying they're horrified by this news that's come out and they want answers. Yeah.
Who are they going to answer to? Who are they going to ask?
If I'm a legit writer for Sports Illustrated and I'm
Yes.
like slowly being replaced by AI
Yes.
and fake people, I mean, it's like a Sims situation happening over there. But there it is. We've got Sports Illustrated using AI to generate their sports stories, as well as the journalists that are quote unquote creating those stories. The Washington kicker earns himself a scholarship with the game-winning field goal against state rival Washington State. And Michigan trolls themselves by using a spy plane for the flyover.
Yeah, no doubt. And
over the weekend.
That is a good salty shakedown. And I retweeted on my social media at Hardball Hardge, and I tagged AM 1300 The Zone, the picture, the beautiful, beautiful picture of the flyover that now I am told by the salty one was a troll job.
Yeah, it's okay
and a
that you don't know
plane.
your planes, Hard.
Well, yeah, I'm not
It's
really
fine.
looking at it
I
that
mean,
way.
I know my planes.
Oh, do you?
I do.
Because it's first class.
That's not
There
a
you go.
Spirit Airlines. That looks more like a Delta or American.
That is not Allegiant.
Yeah.
That is not Allegiant. Man, that is impressive though. Good job by Michigan with the spy plane to fly over. Good stuff, Salty, right there in the Salty Shakedown. You can hear that Monday through Friday, 6:40. Make sure you set your alarms. Coming up, Salty, are you a Pop-Tart eater?
I've been known to chow down on a cold Pop-Tart. I don't heat them up.
You don't heat them up.
Yep.
Well, that's a great way to think about this next segment when we come up. The Pop-Tart Bowl has been announced, but the part about the bowl that is interesting is what happens to the winning team. We'll talk about it right here on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone on the Hard Knocks Life.
Longhorns football plays here.
It is a handoff to Brooks, and he plows forward for a Longhorn touchdown. Brooks takes it across, and the Longhorns jump on top. Brooks to the 10, to the 5, JD, touchdown, Texas. To the left side, towards it outside. Jaden Blue down the sidelines, 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Texas.
Longhorns football plays here on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
Experience the magic of Christmas at listenToChristmasmusic.com. Your ultimate Christmas playlist. ListenToChristmasmusic.com.
FM 812 at Lockhart Highway, we do have an accident with some minor delays. Looking out on I-35, the frontage road northbound at Runberg. The left lane closed with road construction. I'm Ty Holt with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Cyber Golden Gable deals are here at Lowe's. Bring home a holiday living 4-piece decor set with a wreath, garland, and 2 potted trees. A $149 value, just $59. Valid through 11/29 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
With tens of thousands of satisfied patients across America, it's no surprise QC Kinetics gets 5-star reviews.
I'm feeling on top of the world because of QC Kinetics.
I'm able to do the things that I wasn't able to do for a long time
fine.
I can recommend them highly. I would recommend QC to anybody.
QC Kinetics has changed my life.
I couldn't believe it. I honestly was skeptical, but the pain went from a 10 to a 0.
Real people with real lasting relief from joint pain.
QC Kinetics Regenerative Medicine is regenerating me.
It was super successful, and I recommend everyone seek out QC Kinetics as an alternative to surgery.
This non-surgical approach is definitely the future.
I tell as many people as possible. I am an ambassador. I love QC Kinetics.
QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in advanced regenerative medicine. No drugs, no surgery. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 512-593-4303. That's 512-593-4303. 512-593-4303.
Hey, it's Jonas Knox. Did you know that some ordinary cold medicines can raise your blood pressure? That's why DayQuil High Blood Pressure is specially formulated to provide cold and flu symptom relief without ingredients like sugar, alcohol, and decongestants. Just one dose of DayQuil High Blood Pressure starts working fast to relieve your worst cold and flu symptoms so you can power through your day. If you have high blood pressure and need daytime relief from your cold and flu symptoms, use DayQuil High Blood Pressure. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Join Dutch Mendenhall, co-founder and CEO of Rad Diversified, president of the Alternative Investment Association, Tucker Carlson, Buck Sexton, and many more at the Investment Wealth Summit in Tampa, December 1st through the 3rd. Get your tickets at investwealthsummit.com. Learn how to diversify your portfolio without relying solely on Wall Street. Explore alternative investments. Uncover untapped potential in real estate, startups, and innovative technologies. Tickets will sell out. Join Dutch Mendenhall with Tucker Carlson and more. Secure your seat at investwealthsummit.com today.
Dell's Cyber Monday event is their biggest sale of the year. Shop limited time deals on laptops like the stylish, innovative XPS 13, engineered to do it all on the Intel Evo platform. Plus, save big on ultra-sharp monitors and top brand accessories. It's the perfect time to upgrade any home, business, or gaming setup powered by Intel Core processors. Shop now at Dell.com/deals to take advantage of huge savings and free shipping. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
I gotta ask, are you looking to switch your phone service? Well, what if there was a carrier that wasn't just another phone company? One that's brand new, built with technology for the next 50 years, not the last 50. Well, now there is. It's Boost Infinite Wireless, the only carrier that switches between its own network and the other top 2 networks to find the best quality calls and data for you anywhere, anytime. So why limit yourself to one network when you can get 3 and you get a low price unlimited wireless plan that gives you a new iPhone every single year? It's the power of new technology that gives you better service at lower prices. Boost Infinite Wireless. Visit boostinfinite.com. BOOST. That's boostinfinite.com, or go to amazon.com and search for Boost iPhone 15. That's amazon.com and search for Boost iPhone 15 today. Boost Infinite Wireless. See boostinfinite.com for terms and conditions.
Hey, you got 10 minutes? And you've got time for the new podcast, 10 Takes with Kyle Brandt. Every Monday, I give you 10 takes from the NFL, from the universe, and I give them to you in just 10 minutes. I'm telling you, you may just have the best time you've ever had listening to a podcast. It could be a crazy play I'm talking about. It could be how I hate child car seats and I don't know how to install them. You just never know. Listen to 10 Takes on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
AM 1300 The Zone is KVET Austin. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app for all your sports talk, podcasts, and music. Free never sounded so good. The Craig Way Show with Craig Way and Cameron Parker. Weekdays 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone.
That's right. Get yourself ready. It is championship week, folks. The Texas Longhorns will travel to Arlington, Texas to take on the Oklahoma State Cowboys. The mullet has returned to Texas. Well, you're listening to the Hardge Knocks Life right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. I am Hardball Hardge, Shannon B. Sweeney right here. First and foremost, thank you for texting us. We appreciate that, and we see you out there. But when you're texting us, this is how this works. You text Texas followed by your message. You don't have to send it separately. Put it all in there together. Texas, followed by your message to 81530. And remember, standard message and data rates may apply. Yeah. But we appreciate you.
Yeah. Because when you send Texas and then send your message separately, all we get is Texas.
All we get is
Texas is the key word that sends us your message.
No doubt. But we appreciate you. We see you.
Oh, yeah.
We see you trying.
We see lots of Texas in here.
Yeah, we see lots of it. So we appreciate you trying to be a part of the show. Salty, let's be a part of something that I've never seen happen before. Every sporting event and every bowl game has mascots at it, whether it's the Texas Longhorns and the Georgia Bulldogs, where Bevo and Uga, the Bulldog, are there participating. But each bowl game has different folks that are involved in it. So let's use the Pop-Tart Bowl, for example, because that's going to be the part of our story. Each bowl has their own mascot as well. So it was brought to my attention yesterday in a report that at the Pop-Tart Bowl, which is the first bowl of its kind, that there is going to be a live Pop-Tart mascot. Now, Salty, you've been around for a while. Have you ever seen a Pop-Tart that is live, that is a mascot?
I have not. And then now we're going to make it edible.
Yes, there we go. The Pop-Tart Bowl will have the first ever edible mascot. Per the bowl, when the final whistle blows, the winning team will celebrate by taking a bite out of a giant pastry mascot. Now, I don't know how you feel about these types of things, but if it is a mascot, that means that it's walking around, it's moving, and then what is the person inside the suit going to be wearing that he or she can get out of there without being bitten?
Yeah. Is there a mechanism where it's just like dishing out Pop-Tarts from its giant Pop-Tart? Because I don't know that after being on the field of a football field for 3 hours, I'd want to take a bite out of anything.
Yes,
like that, much less something that has a human inside of it. Now, interesting. We're talking about the Pop-Tart Bowl. They're going to have a live edible mascot. It's taking place, and a Big 12 team will be a part of it because it hosts the Atlantic Coast and Big 12 conferences. The Camping World Bowl in Orlando. So this is in Florida, so it makes a little bit more sense here.
Humid.
It's
very humid.
That icing is gonna melt.
Exactly.
Also, so many flavors of Pop-Tarts. Which one do they go with? I mean, so many questions.
There's so many things
and
that
also,
need to be answered.
Pop-Tart not active on the Twitters, haven't been in over a year, but yet the Pop-Tarts Bowl Twitter account, very active. They tweeted yesterday after the story was released. Apparently they got a lot of comments saying, well, any mascot is edible if you try hard enough. And they say that they are concerned now.
I'm concerned myself because of the simple fact of how does this happen? Where does this happen? And who is really going over there to sprint to eat a Pop-Tart like that? Because the Mayo Bowl, you see what happens at the end of that thing right there, right?
Disgusting. Don't even.
Where
why are
the
we talking
coaches
about
get it dumped on them after they become victorious in their game. So there's that part of it. But now you're looking at it in a different light, and you're like, "What? Wait, what?
Now,
a Pop-Tart?"
Looking at some of the projections for this bowl, just prior to this past weekend's games, Oklahoma State, 4 out of the 8 projections have them going to the Pop-Tart Bowl.
Wow, that is impressive. So if you're into Pop-Tarts and you want to go to the Pop-Tart Bowl, please take pictures because I would love to see how this all ends because I'm definitely going to be tuning in to that game. Speaking of tuning in, stay with us. We'll be right back. And when we do, Texas Longhorn head coach, Coach Sark, got a chance to address the media, and he talked about those big fellas up front. Continue listening to us right here on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone, and the Hardge Knocks Life.
AM 1300 The Zone is KVET Austin. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app for all your sports talk, podcasts, and music. Free never sounded so good.
Okay.
Good morning, beautiful people of Austin, Texas, Killeen, Texas, or wherever you may be listening. Thank you for tuning in to the Hardge Knocks Life right here on Sports Radio, AM 1300 The Zone. I am your host, Hardball Hardge, Shannon B. Sweeney, sitting across from me. And in hour one, we talked about the Texas Longhorns. We talked about coaches getting fired and how much money they get to keep. We had the salty shakedown where we found out that the flyover at Michigan was actually a spy plane. Way to go, Michigan. Way to go. Keep trolling, baby. And then we found out just recently that there will be a Pop-Tart Bowl where the mascot will be edible. Are you kidding me? I don't even know how to react to that. But the story of the week is the Texas Longhorns advancing to the Big 12 championship. I also want to put out there too, folks, next Monday is the time for the transfer portal, and there will be a lot of discussion talking about different players and who may be leaving and who is going to be staying, and not only here at the University of Texas, but across the nation. There are some guys that have already jumped in the portal, so that story will be ongoing. But as of right now, we want to talk a little bit about this Texas Longhorn football team and what they have been able to accomplish this year. At the very beginning of the season, we were trying to figure out what would be the identity of this football team. Would it be the ground game? Would it be the passing game with Quinn Ewers? On the defensive side, they had a lot of wide receivers in the wide receiver room. So there was so much that was being broken down at that time. But then you start thinking about this defense and what was going to be returning on it. You had Jalen Ford at linebacker, who was up for Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year, who I thought for sure should have won it last year, the way that he was playing and the way that he was around the football the entire time. But now you have another name that has been in the conversation, and that is the big man. He wears the chain around his neck that says, "Make them sweat." And that chain looks so big on his neck that it looks like a hubcap to a normal person.
He said he got the idea from seeing Flavor Flav.
Flav put it in his mind. He thought about the clock, and that's how big it is on his neck. But he and Byron Murphy have become two of the most talked about tandems at the University of Texas and across college football. They're both getting an opportunity to go play in the Reese's Senior Bowl, where they get to play in front of a bunch of front office personnel from the NFL. But here's the thing. Both of those guys can be up for Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year. T'Vondre Sweat's name is on the Heisman Trophy list. And Coach Sark talked about both of those guys and what they meant to the team yesterday.
They both have had fantastic seasons. I believe they're the best tandem in the country from what I can watch and the teams we played against. And I mean, they work so well with one another. They're different styles of players. Sweat is got such athleticism for a big man and can impact the game in a variety of ways. He can rush the passer. He can defend the run and make critical plays on a lot of these fourth down stops and third down stops. He gets his hands on the ball when he isn't able to get into the backfield, and he has got a lot of tips and batted balls. Where Murphy is such a penetrator, and he's such a bulldog. His effort is through the roof. And so I think they play really well off of one another. That quite frankly, I'm hopeful one of them is the Big 12 Defensive Player in the Year, and the other one is the Big 12 Defensive Lineman of the Year. And I think they're more than deserving of that. They have impacted our team in a way that, when you think about, we lead the nation on third down defense. We lead the nation in red zone defense. And those are two, really cool numbers to have when you talk about, defensive football, that nobody's better than us on third down. Nobody's better than us at stopping people in the red area. And sometimes total defense can get a little skewed because yards are just yards, but are you stopping people on third down and getting them off the field? Are you stopping people from scoring touchdowns when they're in the red area? Those are big numbers. So I'm fired up for our defense, but I think a lot of that starts and ends with what we do up front on the interior defensive line, and that's Sweat and Murphy. So just fired up for those guys for the year that they've had so far.
And rightfully so. Both of those guys have been hell for any defensive coordinator and defensive or offensive lineman, because those are the guys that dictate what's going to happen up front, because they're coming off the line. They're the one that's making sure that the linebackers can go from sideline to sideline. They have been more impressionable across the NFL as they possibly can. It's been real fun to watch this team develop, watch them grow, and watch how they handled their business. As a matter of fact, Mike Gundy was asked about the team the other day and what he sees on film, and he feels the same way about T'Vondre Sweat and Byron Murphy as the nation has when they've talked about it.
They're 2.9 a carry, which is tough for the guys rushing football against them. It's interesting. They're a 35-point team scoring, and they're only giving up 17. They're double. Their margin's pretty big. It's pretty rare you see that. They're 25% third down conversion defensively, which is really good. I mean, there's a reason where they are. In particulars, that's what you're dealing with. More of a traditional defense. They can play gaps and play coverage. They don't necessarily have to overload the box to stop the run. That's not what they do. They could, but that's not traditionally what they do. Most people have struggled in a big way blocking their down guys and their backers, so they don't have to overload the box for the rush.
And that's why we talk about this team, about making the opponent one-dimensional. You saw what happened last week with Texas Tech when they made them have to throw the ball. A lot of that was predicated on the fact that Texas got out to a big lead and kind of ran away with the game. So you kind of get out of your running game mentality. But I believe that the running game is the identity of Oklahoma State. The Cowboys are going to try to run the football for multiple reasons. Obviously, with their running back, Ollie Durham in the backfield. Ollie Gordon in the backfield. He's spectacular, leads the nation in rushing, definitely leads the Big 12. But you also have to understand, too, if I'm trying to run the ball, that means I'm keeping that Texas offense off the field. He just told you they're averaging 35 points a game. So they're going to put points on the board. And most of the time you're playing from behind if you're the opponent. So you're looking at it in a totally different light. And I believe that's why Texas has gotten to the level that they have gotten. And here's another part of it. Pete Kwiatkowski, shout out to my man CJ Vogel of the Football Brainiacs. He posted this yesterday. He said that Texas's defense on third down has improved every single year since 2021. In 2021, they were 94th in the country, 42.3% on third down percentage. So now you're looking at 2022. They jumped up to 88th in the country, 41.31%. And then this year, they're first in the country at 26.3%. So you sit here and you look at the improvement, you see the guys buying in, and I believe, and this goes back to what Sark was talking about with his culture and the belief of these players. And if you listen to all the players, you listen to Jordan Whittington, 5-star culture with 5-star players, and then you listen to Jalen Ford, T'Vondre Sweat, and the fun that these teams are having in these situations, it has been a blessing for what we have seen. I was with some buddies yesterday and we were talking football and the expectations. And I said, guys, we are over here freaking out about this situation and that situation. Can we stop and stand where our feet are and look at the fact that Texas is 11-1 and they're getting a chance to play for a Big 12 championship to bookend their time in the Big 12? They won in 96, the first year. In their last year in the Big 12, they got a chance to play for a Big 12 championship. Come on, folks. Let's just enjoy the ride. We'll continue the conversations right here on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Longhorns football plays here.
Swings it wide open in the end zone. Adonai Mitchell, welcome back to your hometown area. A.D. Mitchell, a 14-yard catch and a Texas touchdown. Touchdown, the spot for a second Longhorn touchdown.
Longhorns football plays here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone.
Experience the magic of Christmas at ListenToChristmasMusic.com. Your ultimate Christmas playlist. ListenToChristmasMusic.com.
Brake temps are building on 290 westbound at the 130 toll. We have an accident. Emergency crews are currently on scene. FM 812 at Lockhart Highway. Good news, that collision now cleared. I'm Ty Holt with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. How does Taco Bell not have a breakfast taco? It's like, duh. But now there's the all-new toasted breakfast taco with fluffy eggs, melty cheese, savory sausage, all in taco form. Grab the all-new toasted breakfast taco at participating Taco Bell stores during breakfast only, while supplies last.
Hi, I'm Dan Covert with my wife Hayden. Welcome to Covert BK.
Our newest location in the gorgeous Hill Country includes Buick, GMC, Cadillac, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, and hundreds of pre-owned and certified vehicles for you to choose from. We have 3 service departments that are ready to take care of your car, truck, or SUV with 86 service bays to accommodate any repair and get you in and out quickly. Come visit us today to select the vehicle you've been dreaming about.
Covert, born and raised in Austin.
Everybody has a favorite pair of shoes or boots that could use a little TLC. This is Carol Kelly with Austin Shoe Hospital. Austin families have been using Austin Shoe Hospital for all their shoe, boot, purse, and luggage repairs for over 30 years. Austin Shoe Hospital's expert team of shoe and boot cobblers are the best in Texas. So round up all your favorite shoes, boots, and bags and have our master cobblers bring them back to life. Come into Austin Shoe Hospital or go to austinshoehospital.com for info. Let Austin Shoe Hospital heal your souls.
Hey, it's Jonas Knox. You know, in today's world, it seems the best treatment is reserved only for a few. Well, Discover wants to change that by making everyone feel special. That's why with your Discover card, you have access to 24/7 live customer service, as well as $0 fraud liability, which means you're never held responsible for unauthorized purchases. Finally, no matter who you are or where you are in life, you'll feel special with Discover. Learn more at discover.com/credit card. Limitations apply.
The annoying runny nose, the constant sneezing, the itchiness, and battle just to catch your breath. If you suffer from seasonal allergies, sinusitis, or nagging sinus congestion, there's a natural, easy-to-use solution that can help provide fast, drug-free relief. It's called Navage, and it uses powered suction to rinse your nasal passages in seconds. Millions of people use Navage daily to help provide relief from seasonal allergies and sinus congestion. Medications treat the symptoms, but Navage treats the problem at the source, flushing out the allergens and pollen trapped in your nose. Navage also helps wash out airborne bacteria, dust, dirt, and viruses quickly and painlessly, so you can get back to breathing clearly again. Say goodbye to sinus suffering and hello to better breathing with Navage. Navage is available at Walmart, Walgreens, Target, CVS, Rite Aid, and online at Navage.com. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Gillette Intimate Trimmer gives you a gentle, easy way to trim your pubic region. Or you could try waxing. Nope. From America's #1 trusted men's grooming brand. The best a man can get, down there. Buy Gillette Intimate at a retailer near you.
Hey, Texas football fans. Shannon Sweeney here, and it's time for football. Thomas J. Henry Law is thrilled to be part of the action with Texas football game broadcasts. Just like the athletes give their all on the field, Thomas J. Henry and over 250 attorneys give their all when it comes to helping you and your family get the justice you deserve. Whether it's on the field or in the courtroom, dedication, strategy, and teamwork are crucial. For over 30 years, Thomas J. Henry Law has been committed to securing meaningful results for injured people and their families. Visit tjhlaw.com or call 24/7 to get the help you need for you and your loved ones.
Looking for the perfect place to get a bite to eat before or after the game? Vaqueros Cafe and Cantina has you covered. With locations on 360 in Westlake or Quinlan Park Road in Steiner Ranch, both offer the perfect place to pregame or celebrate after the game. We use only the finest, freshest ingredients, mouth-watering fajitas, fresh seafood, char-grilled oysters, and queso you'll want to eat by the gallon. Happy hour, dinner with family and friends, private events, Vaqueros Cafe and Cantina is the place. Visit vaqueroscafe.com. Tex-Mex done right.
What's up, everybody? I'm back with year 2 of my podcast, The Season with Peter Schrager. In each episode of this season, I'm going to take you inside and behind the scenes on the conversations that happen at the highest levels of NFL franchises. We'll bring in top GMs and coaches and give you the story behind the story that you're probably not getting anywhere else. Each week, I'll bring you conversations on the inside and give you the chance to get to know your favorite personalities in a different way. Listen to The Season with Peter Schrager on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Shannon here for Golden Chick's latest chicken sandwich creation, the new Buffalo Ranch Chicken Sandwich. It's a hand-breaded chicken breast, deliciously drizzled with spicy buffalo sauce on an extra large fresh baked roll. A swirl of creamy ranch dressing, melty cheese, and 5 pickles makes this Buffalo Ranch Chicken Sandwich unbelievably tasty. Stop by your local Golden Chick and get the new Buffalo Ranch Chicken Sandwich for just $5.49, or make it a combo with a choice of your favorite side and a 30-ounce drink for just $8.99. If you love buffalo chicken, you're going to love this sandwich.
The free iHeartRadio app is #1 for music, radio, and podcasts, all in one. Discover a new podcast from our library of over 350,000 titles. Here's an iHeartRadio podcast preview.
I mean, there could be an abduction in broad daylight. No one saw it. No one talked about it. These were like ghosts.
The numbers started to rise, and then a lot of theories were floated up. The gangs, the serial murder, the cartels, organ traffickers, the possibility of some sort of strange devil worship.
It's been 15 years since I first heard about these murders, and I've been haunted ever since. How is it possible these crimes remain unsolved?
On our journey to find out, we talk to victims' families, FBI agents, and a psychologist who claims to know one of the culprits. We've traveled to a dangerous part of downtown Juarez, where many of the women disappeared.
Yeah, if we're going around looking at the missing posters of women and we're asking a lot of questions, they might send someone to scare us off.
I'm Os Voloshin.
And I'm Monica Ortiz Uribe.
This is Forgotten.
The Women of Juarez.
Listen and follow this podcast for free on the iHeartRadio app. #1 for music, radio, and podcasts, all in one.
It's the Craig Way Show with the voice of the Longhorns, Craig Way. Weekdays 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
Welcome back to the Hardge Knocks Live right here on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone. I am your host, Harbaugh Hardge, and sitting in with me is Shannon B. Sweeney. As always, the salty one doing her thing. Shannon, I wanted to get into this conversation about the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys have a big matchup right now this Thursday at Jerry World, the site of the Big 12 championship game, by the way. I just wanted to make sure I put that out there. Jerry is playing the Seattle Seahawks, which is a big football game for the Dallas Cowboys in so many ways. Obviously, the Philadelphia Eagles are the talk of the NFL, sitting at 10-1 right now and continuing to find ways to win and kind of pretty much separating themselves from everyone else in the NFL. But the Cowboys are trying to continue to push forward in this playoff push so they can be the #1 or the top wild card team in the playoffs. And this game against Seattle is a huge game, strictly into the fact that when you look at the Seattle Seahawks and what they've been able to do, they're 6-5. Right now, they're in the playoffs and they're sitting at #7. So this, to me, is like what Coach Sark talks about every single week since the Oklahoma game. He said that every game was a Big 12 championship game for him. So for the Dallas Cowboys, continuing on this path, every game is a playoff game to the Cowboys. As they sit in the division leaders are Philadelphia at 10-1, the 49ers at 8-3. The 49ers and the Eagles kind of hold the tiebreaker for the Cowboys because of the fact that, #1, if they win their division, they're in. I mean, they're going to be a hosting team and they're going to be the number 2 seed. The Lions are at 8-3. They lead the NFC North, and the Falcons are 5-6, and they lead the NFC South. That is why it's funny to me when my buddy that's a Saints fan was losing his mind about the team. I'm like, bro, you still have an opportunity here.
Yeah.
There's still a chance for your team to end up winning that division strictly because of the fact that the division is being led by a team that's 5-6. And all you have to do is beat them the next round because you're going to play each other again. So you sit there and you look at this game, and Geno Smith, he's dealing with an injury, so we don't know which version of Geno Smith we're going to play against. You also have DK Metcalf and his ability to stretch the field, and primetime game, everybody's going to be watching, so everybody's going to be even that much more amped up. But most importantly, the Cowboys are at a place now that they have to continue to beat teams that they are expected to beat. They are a 7-point favorite as of right now. The game may change. The lines may change as well, but it is an important game for the Dallas Cowboys moving forward and continuing to get to the top record that they can possibly get.
Yeah, and the line I think opened at 6.5. So whatever it is, people are starting to favor the Cowboys that much more. And I think the Cowboys have, they're not the Vikings, right? Primetime does not, put a sway on whether or not they might win or lose. I think, in fact, Cowboys probably put on their best show during primetime. It doesn't always come in our favor, but I'm looking forward to this one. Obviously, a Thursday night Cowboy game. Coming off playing a Thursday last week. So not a short week, but still an interesting week in that it's Thursday to Thursday. But to get the opportunity to play the Seahawks, who have put it to the Cowboys a time or two, and to really continue to make that jump and move forward in their wins. I mean, I hate that we're 8-3 and the Eagles 10-1. We could both be 9-2 right now had we had just won that game. And so as we get deeper into the season, I think at this point, Cowboys just have to focus on the games that are in front of them. And like you said, the teams that they're supposed to beat, go ahead and beat them, because it looks like the Eagles are going to run away with this. So you want to put yourself in the best position possible for that wild card spot.
And they continue to find a way to make it embarrassing to other teams when they're playing at home. Dak Prescott is playing at an MVP level. That's right. I said it. Dak Prescott is out there playing at an MVP level. Deron Bland is putting his name in the hat for Defensive Player of the Year, especially with the fact that he's got 5 pick sixes on the season. And you look at this team and what they've been able to do at home. They've scored 205 points at home. And some of that does have something to do with the defense and what they've been able to do. But you start looking at this team and you're saying, okay, are they a team that can make a run in the playoffs? Are they a team that people are waiting to see the shoe fall from them? I think so. They do not believe in the Dallas Cowboys. They do not believe in Dak Prescott. They do not believe in Mike McCarthy, because let's not forget, everyone thought that this offense was going to take a step back when they lost Kellen Moore, because Kellen Moore was a guy that continued to put up a lot of points. Well, everybody kept saying, well, Kellen Moore now has a better quarterback. He has a better quarterback in Justin Herbert. You know that they are not winning games again, and maybe that's in spite of their head coach, and maybe it has nothing to do with Kellen Moore or Justin Herbert, but they're not a good football team right now. And it looks like the Dallas Cowboys with Mike McCarthy, that Texas Coast offense that they named it at the very beginning of the year, they have played at a very high level. Now, they still need to figure out what's going on with the running game. I think Rico Dowdle needs more run because he runs hard. He runs angry. Tony Pollard finally got into the end zone, back-to-back games. He's got 2 rushing touchdowns for the first time in a very long time. Dak has been spreading the football around. And again, that defense led by Dan Quinn has played at an elite level since that game against the 49ers. They got embarrassed against the 49ers, and the game against the Philadelphia Eagles, the game you were talking about, Salty, a play here and a play there, they win. Dak doesn't step out of bounds on his way to the 2-point conversion. If Schooner catches the ball on the other side of the line, that's a touchdown. There's so many things that happened within that game that had the Cowboys right there on the cusp. The only game that they technically got beat down in was that game against the 49ers. They did lose to the Arizona Cardinals, a bad Arizona Cardinals football team now that has Kyler Murray back. But that was a bad, bad football team at that point. So you sit there and you're looking at them now and you say, what, are the Cowboys for real? We'll see. Everybody keeps talking about their opponent's record. Well, they're playing against a team that is above 500, that is in the playoff hunts right now.
Barely.
So we will see how this game plays out on Thursday night. I'm excited for it. I know Cowboys fans are excited for it. I know a lot of people that are going up to that game because it is a Thursday night game and it'll lead into the weekend where they play, where Jerry World, where the Texas Longhorns are play, because most fans that are Texas Longhorn fans just happen to be Cowboys fan. And that's why their worlds are so parallel of excitement and misery at the same time.
Now he's maybe a little less parallel, but you could still maybe compare to the two. McCarthy is in year 4 now with the Dallas Cowboys. I know when he was hired, you weren't super ecstatic.
Nope.
And particularly the first 2 years were pretty rough. But it seems like Sark, he's got this team going in the right direction at this point. So I'm just curious what your thoughts are now on McCarthy. Is it are you liking him because we're winning? And the second we lose, are we turning on him?
Yeah.
You still think there's a better option out there?
I mean, what would you do if you weren't a Cowboy fan? You would have to turn on them, just like people were turning on the University of Texas. They're 11-1, and people are.
Do you want Dan Quinn to be our head coach?
No, I like Dan Quinn where he is, and I truly believe that Dan Quinn likes where he is. Look at the excitement in which he always shows for his team on the plays that they make. Every time they go up to the booth, he's having so much fun up there. So to me, I believe him being in that spot makes it a lot easier for him to be able to be free and call the game that he wants to, because he doesn't have to worry about anything else. Mike McCarthy with his Waffle House play card over there is over there he's doing a really good job. I think Dak has better control of the offense than what he had at the very beginning of the season, because people were questioning him on every single throw, every move. But now people have to put some respect on my man's name because he's been doing his job. So to me, I'm good with Mike McCarthy being there. I'm good with the way that everything kind of is playing out at this particular moment.
You know what? It could be worse than a Waffle House card sheet.
What
it
could
could
it
be
be?
like a Cheesecake Factory situation. You just flipping pages
just keep
over there.
Flipping and flipping.
So I'll take a Waffle House.
At least you know what you're getting.
Uh-huh.
It's real simplified.
It's probably sticky and dirty too, though.
That's what makes
He
it
don't
so
look
good.
clean.
That's what makes it so good right there. That's what makes it so good. You know, I continue to look at this week and all the games that are going to be played, and we'll get into the rest of the week, because there's some talented teams that are out there that are trying to find their position. And for me, as I look at these teams, I continue to say, are the Dallas Cowboys one of the best teams in the NFL? I know you got a lot of questions. I know people don't want to believe in it. But if Dallas can get this thing figured out, because they're going to have a big run here shortly on all the teams that they're going to make, and they're going to have to identify themselves at who they are. After the Seattle game, they play Philadelphia. It's a Sunday night football game. The following weekend, December 17th, they play at Buffalo. You'll get to know who they are then. Then Christmas Eve, they play the Miami Dolphins.
Oh, please don't ruin Christmas.
Hey, listen, this
Please
will let you
don't
know.
ruin Christmas.
You want to ruin Christmas if for the Dolphins. You don't want to ruin it for the Cowboys. But you want to see where your team stacks up, and this will be a big, big run for them. Their next 5 games are Philadelphia, Buffalo, Miami, Detroit, and the Washington Commanders.
The only thing that will help us is prayer.
And that's what we're going to be doing right around Jesus's birthday. That's what we're going to be doing.
Dear Lord, baby Jesus.
Exactly.
He was a man. He had a
was
beard.
So this is a big week. This starts now, and the Cowboys have a lot to work out. Speaking of working out, the Cowboys will work out Shaq Leonard, the linebacker.
Hey.
He's supposed to be meeting with the Dallas Cowboys this week.
Turkey man.
I don't know if it's going to happen, if he won't be eligible to play on Thursday night, but if we can have him for that run, I think that'll be huge for this Dallas Cowboy defense, because we just talked about Dan Quinn and what he's able to bring to the table. And I think that will be a big get for him at this moment.
Yeah, and we talked about him last week, how he was released from the Colts, and then immediately thereafter was out, still in Colts and NFL gear, passing out turkeys to those less fortunate. So that just kind of tells you the kind of guy that the Dallas Cowboys could get if he comes to that organization.
Yeah, he's definitely somebody that will invest into the community like everyone else. But coming up next, we got the one and only Joe Cook of Inside Texas to break down what he heard from Coach Sark at the press conference yesterday, and also talk a little bit about the Oklahoma State Cowboys. Make sure you stick around because we're going to get right into it right here on the Hard Knocks Life on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Longhorns football plays here.
Turns hands to Brooks to the left side. JB is across. Touchdown, Texas. Got the first down, breaks a tackle to the 40. Say goodnight to this one. C.J. Baxter on 4th and 1. That's 53 more. A 54-yard touchdown run. Touchdown, Texas. It only takes the Longhorns one play to cash in.
Longhorns football plays here on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
Experience the magic of Christmas at ListenToChristmasMusic.com. Your ultimate Christmas playlist. ListenToChristmasMusic.com.
Brake tabs continue on 290 westbound at the 130 toll. We have an accident. Use caution getting through. FM 812 at Lockhart Highway. A collision cleared. Good news along that stretch. I'm Ty Holt with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Boost Infinite.
Boost Infinite's new wireless technology switches between networks, giving you the best service at a lower price. Switch today. Visit boostinfinite.com or go to amazon.com and search for Boost iPhone 15.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help. So you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This holiday season, spread the joy to family and friends by filling your hopper with Kingsford Hardwood Pellets. Kingsford Hardwood Pellets delivers excellent performance in any pellet grill and adds an authentic wood-fired flavor to your holiday meals. From favorites like prime rib to mac and cheese, your family will crown you grilling royalty. Trust Kingsford, America's grilling expert with over 100 years of expertise in flavor and quality. Make Kingsford Hardwood Pellets your grilling holiday go-to. Visit Kingsford.com.
I got to ask, are you looking to switch your phone service? Well, what if there was a carrier that wasn't just another phone company? One that's brand new, built with technology for the next 50 years, not the last 50. Well, now there is. It's Boost Infinite Wireless, the only carrier that switches between its own network and the other top 2 networks to find the best quality calls and data for you anywhere, anytime. So why limit yourself to one network when you can get 3 and you get a low price unlimited wireless plan that gives you a new iPhone every single year? It's the power of new technology that gives you better service at lower prices. Boost Infinite Wireless. Visit boostinfinite.com, BOOST. That's boostinfinite.com, or go to amazon.com and search for Boost iPhone 15. That's amazon.com and search for Boost iPhone 15 today. Boost Infinite Wireless. See boostinfinite.com for terms and conditions.
Hey, I'm Jackie, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit is the chicken. It is golden brown, so juicy, so delicious. It's the perfect savory start to my day.
Hey, I'm Matt, and the little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit is the freshly baked, flaky, buttery biscuit. When I take a bite, it's kind of like, crispy, soft, crispy. Crispy outside, soft interior, crispy chicken. There's really nothing like it.
Order a Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit and Simply Orange Juice on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials. Some days I cover up because of my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now I'm hitting the road with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
Okay, next time you're at the store, I dare you to not think about the unmistakable, fresh, clean scent of Irish Spring. Yeah, you heard me. I want you to resist picturing a shower filled with those sensational Irish Spring suds. And if you succeed, well, you got what my gramps used to call resolutitude. Not a real word. But let's be honest, you're probably going to end up leaving with Irish Spring because of its irresistible scent and because you have zero resolutitude. Pick up Irish Spring today.
This time of year, big box tool stores start to sell a whole bunch of not tools, from dancing Santas to plastic trees. At Northern Tool and Equipment, we'd rather sell you a 4-horsepower chainsaw fitted with a full chisel chain to cut down your own tree. And we have wood chippers come January. Because, you know, mulch. We're cutting prices on hand and power tools, heaters, and pressure washers this holiday season. Save in store or at northerntool.com.
Are you a business owner, CEO, or responsible for marketing? If you are, iHeartMedia can help you reach your goals and find new customers. We reach more consumers in your target area than anyone else. And we can give you access to those potential customers more cost effectively across radio, digital, podcasting, and social. We'd love to show you how iHeartMedia can work for you. From your cell, dial pound 250 and say keyword great results. That's pound 250 and say great results.
CW Sports is taking you to court. Saturdays, the CW is your new destination for ACC basketball.
It's exciting. It's humbling. We have a crazy, incredible team.
And it all starts with a doubleheader when Miami takes on Notre Dame.
We got what it takes to win. We're ready.
Then Georgia Tech will go toe-to-toe with Duke.
Our goal is to win the national championship.
The CW is bringing you all of the ACC action.
It's going to be a great year.
It's Courtside Saturday this week on the CW.
The Spurs will be back in action Thursday night as they'll host the Hawks. Spurs have dropped 12 straight, their third longest losing streak in franchise history. Longhorns men's hoops dropped a spot to number 18 in this week's coaches poll. Purdue became the new number 1. Kairos Santos drilled a go-ahead 30-yard field goal with just 10 seconds left in the fourth quarter to lift the Bears past the Vikings last night in Minnesota. The Panthers fired head coach Frank Reich. I'm Seth Everett.
This is Katina Mobley. This is what's trending from iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by DraftKings Fantasy Sports.
Check out what DraftKings has to offer with code SPORTS, because life's more fun when you're in on the action. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Age and eligibility restrictions apply. Void where prohibited. See DraftKings.com for details.
Find your iHeartRadio everywhere. There are hundreds of ways to experience iHeartRadio at home and on the go, beyond the iPhone and Android app and at iHeartRadio.com. Here's another way to connect to iHeartRadio. If you've got a Roku TV, then you've got iHeartRadio right there in your living room or bedroom. iHeartRadio is available on every Roku TV, Roku Smart Soundbar speaker, or Roku players. And with Roku's voice search, you can easily access your favorite artists or radio stations with simple voice request. Your iHeartRadio music, radio stations, and podcasts now on your big screen TV with Roku. Check it out for free now. iHeartRadio. Anywhere you want to listen, iHeartRadio is there.
Texas basketball plays here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone.
One, two. Check me out right here, yo.
Victory. This man knows a thing or two about victory. Mr. Hardball Hardge, my favorite baseball player and my favorite guy to listen to talk about football. And he's got a good friend of ours coming up on the show right now. Mr. Joe Cook joins Hardge for the Hardge Knocks Life.
That's right. The managing editor of Inside Texas. You can follow him on Twitter at Joseph Cook 89. He is the one, the only Joe Cook. Joe, how you doing today, my friend?
Doing great. Thank you so much for having me on again.
I'm glad to have you on, man. It's championship week, my brother. That's why we can talk about these things and get excited about it. It's been a while since we've made that trip to Arlington and playing in the Big 12 championship game. Since 2018 was the last time that we got a chance to play in that game. But I want to go back to last week's performance. We saw something that we hadn't seen in a while, and that was a dominant performance by the University of Texas football team against the Texas Tech Red Raiders. What were your takeaways from the game that stood out to you the most?
Yeah, honestly, my biggest takeaway came on Monday when Steve Sarkisian, it's week 12, week 13, whatever it is, and he mentioned that they didn't really even throw on shoulder pads last week, that he trusted his team and knew his team needed some physical recuperation. And he trusted his team enough to prepare and get ready for Texas Tech, without needing to tackle or go thud or do that type of thing. That really accented all the things that we saw on Friday, that even at this point in the season, with all the bumps, all the bruises, all that, and the time to recover, that team still went out and just bullied Tech. The only place that may not have bullied Tech is, maybe in the red zone, and that's been a common theme. But that's why you got Bird Auburn to help make up for that. And everywhere else, it was just a total performance. And like Steve Sarkisian kind of mentioned yesterday, I think that speaks to the maturity of his team, that they can go out and have a week off of contact and still go out and bully a team and beat them by 50 points, and have the second stringers, and Arch Manning and Trey Wisner and those guys be in the game against guys who are frontline guys for Texas Tech, and still do a really good job and do some great things with the football. So just a complete performance, one we haven't seen a ton this year, and one that could not have been better timed with the playoff committee watching and with trying to build momentum on the way into Arlington.
Yeah, we're talking to Joe Cook, managing editor of Inside Texas. And you're right. We got a chance to see a complete game. You got a lot of your backups into the game. And you brought up Arch Manning. Now, obviously, Quinn Ewers is the quarterback. It was an unfortunate freak situation that Malik Murphy got hurt on the sidelines and kind of catapulted Arch into the lineup. Had you seen any energy like that at the University of Texas for someone coming in to make their first appearance in a college football game?
I kind of think back to 20 years ago, whenever Vince was on the sidelines and it was his turn to replace Chance Mock and those types of things. But that may be the only type of thing that compares. And that's the only type of prospect Texas has. Arch Manning is the only type of prospect that compares, especially coming from the high school ranks. Quinn was a transfer, and I know he was very anticipated, but it's still a transfer. It's still a little bit different. That the loudest cheer may have been for Arch Manning, and then Arch Manning, going for it on fourth down, and that may have been the loudest cheer a Texas quarterback's ever gotten for failing to pick up a first down.
Yeah, it was pretty exciting to watch, and everybody's energy was definitely felt in the building. Speaking of being your energy felt in the building, it is a big week for the Texas Longhorns as they travel to Arlington, and the familiar opponent is the Oklahoma State Cowboys. Coach Gundy is never at a loss for words when he talks about his team or what happens with the game. What are your thoughts about the Oklahoma State Cowboys and them getting ready to make that trip to Arlington for the second time in 3 years?
I think that's a team that did a great job to figure out who it was. If you look at Ollie Gordon, who really, carries that team when he carries the rock, I don't think he had more than 20 or so carries throughout the first 3 weeks of the season. And that included a loss to South Alabama, and an embarrassing one at home in Stillwater to 33-7. They lost to Iowa State. They started 2-2, and then aside from a clunker against UCF, they've gone 7-1 all the way in, and it's thanks to Ollie Gordon. And if you watch that game last week when they were playing BYU, they're down 20-something points at halftime or close to it. They don't deviate from the game plan. They put a little bit more on Alan Bowman, but they know that their bread is buttered by by Ollie Gordon, and they kept giving him the rock, and they've been giving him the rock a lot this year. He's the nation's leading rusher. He's, teams can try to run the ball on Texas and have often. And I'm really curious to see what Gundy tries to do with that, because it's been a non-starter for most teams running the ball. It was for Taj Brooks, who has 1,400 yards, not too many far behind Gordon. It was a non-starter for K-State, non-starter for Iowa State, and basically for Oklahoma, scrambles were the order of the day, not just classic running the ball. So I'm really curious to see if Oklahoma State tries that. They run the similar style of defense. It seems pretty common around the Big 12, the one that Iowa State and that Kansas State and all the different teams run. We've kind of talked about it in the past about how it's been an issue for Sark, but even though he may have his struggles against it, he's won the games. I don't think he's lost a game to him this year. I think that last year maybe have had one setback against that system. So they've got some good linebackers, some decent secondary players. They don't have the same trench players, but the linebackers help out there, and should be another challenge for Texas, but one they're not incapable of overcoming.
I know that it's still early. We're talking to the managing editor of Inside Texas, Joe Cook. I know it's still a little bit early, and you're going to break down all the film and get your mind right. But tell me one thing that you need to see to be the key to a victory for the Texas Longhorns.
I think Quinn Ewers needs to make the right reads. That's something he's been doing a lot. Texas has given him a lot of opportunities with the RPO, and even just any quarterback that's played for Texas this year, they've given RPO opportunities, and that's where Quinn Ewers has really matured. He's making the right reads. If he sees the linebacker drop down, he's throwing it over the top. If he sees the linebacker stay, he's giving it off or throwing a bubble or something like that. He's been really great at that, and I think that's going to be another challenge this upcoming week against Oklahoma State, because they have linebackers who are good at recognition, good at getting to the right spot. He's got to be precise, and of course, it never hurts to hit one of those deep balls. If you can do that, that changes the complexion of the game, flips the field completely, and makes life a lot easier for your offense, and puts a guy like Bert Auburn in position to make some plays even. So I think just continuing to be precise in the RPO game is going to be the biggest deal for Quinn Ewers.
There he is, the managing editor of Inside Texas, my man Joe Cook. You can follow him at JosephCook89 on Twitter. Joe, have a good week, my friend, and enjoy Texas playing in the Big 12 championship game for the last time.
I will, Hardge. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you, brother. There he is, Joe Cook, and he's right, man. If Quinn Ewers can continue to take care of the football, move the ball around like he has been doing all season, and fans just enjoy him. I mean, everybody's trying to figure out what's next for this Texas football team. You got to enjoy and keep your feet where you are today. Just ride it out. We keep trying to, oh man, we need to be better at this. Yeah, we do. But we're exactly who you are. Texas is 13 weeks into the season. They are who they are, and they're not changing at this point. So enjoy the ride. Continue to be critical, but be critical after wins. Yeah. We're not having to have these arguments. We're not dealing with a team that is begging to get into a bowl game. Yeah. You're not 6-6. You're in a bowl game, buddy. And you're going to be in a good bowl game. So start packing it up. But most importantly, enjoy what you've seen thus far from this Texas football team. We'll continue the conversations. We got one more segment before the end of a beautiful, beautiful day on the Hardge Knocks Life. It's your boy Hardball Hardge, Shannon B. Sweeney, right here on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Longhorns football plays here.
Back to Murphy. Slant over the middle. Caught by Mitchell. 80 into the end zone. Touchdown, Texas. The left side. Turns it outside. Jaden Blue down the sidelines. 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Texas. Intercepted. Picked off. Michael Tapp does it again. Get it out of the hands. Yard line. Murphy the snap. Turns. Hands off first to the goal line. Leans forward. Touchdown, Texas.
Longhorns football plays here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone.
Experience the magic of Christmas at ListenToChristmasMusic.com, your ultimate Christmas playlist. ListenToChristmasMusic.com.
183 southbound at Oak Knoll, we have a 40-minute delay. A collision reported. Emergency crews are on scene. 71 westbound at South Loop 360, a minor collision with some brake taps. I'm Ty Hole with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. How does Taco Bell not have a breakfast taco? It's like, duh. But now there's the all-new toasted breakfast taco with fluffy eggs, melty cheese, savory sausage, all in taco form. Grab the all-new toasted breakfast taco at participating Taco Bell stores during breakfast only, while supplies last.
It's Longhorn football season and time to grab an ice-cold Bud Light. Bud Light was brewed to be a delicious and easy-to-drink beer, even when the little things in life are hard, like when the game is going into overtime, but you have even more time to enjoy it, and a fresh Bud Light. Bud Light, an official sponsor of Texas Athletics. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Pick up Bud Light at your local retailer today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
With Black Friday appliance savings all month long at the Home Depot, we're making the holidays merrier by making holiday hosting easier with our lowest prices of the year on Whirlpool kitchen appliances. Get everything you need to store all your holiday favorites.
Dinner's ready.
And the leftovers. With top brand kitchen appliances at a great value. Final days to save up to $2,300 on select kitchen packages, including top brands like Whirlpool, with Black Friday savings at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Ends November 29th.
How's your money feeling? It's about to feel happier with a certificate from Happy Money's partner, Alliant Credit Union. Elevate and increase your savings with 12-month terms and only $1,000 minimum. And the happiest part? Alliant certificates yield 5.25% APY annual percentage yield. Now that's a happier side of money. Elevate your savings. Go to happymoney.com/Alliant. That's ALLIANT. Funds insured up to $250,000 by NCUA. The APY is accurate as of the 11/1/2023 dividend declaration date. Early withdrawal penalties do apply. Fees may reduce earnings on the account. Any monthly withdrawals or transfers reduce earnings.
In this week's Marketers Report, Chris Brandt, Chief Marketing Officer at Chipotle Mexican Grill, weighs in on the power of audio.
We've used audio to reinforce what we're showing on TV, what we're showing in other digital channels. When your priority is driving reach, boy, everybody seems to listen to the radio.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, conversations, trusted influencers, insights, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
Be prepared for the winter storm season with a Generac generator or a backup battery system from Divided Sky Roofing and Solar. Don't wait until it's too late. Get all the information you need on it at mydividedsky.com. That's mydividedsky.com.
Some intimate parts need the gentle, easy trim of a Gillette trimmer, and some need the closeness and comfort of a Gillette Intimate razor, while others need a Gillette anti-chafe stick. Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get down there. Buy now.
The free iHeartRadio app is your home for the holidays. Open the app and click on the holiday banner or search iHeart Holiday and start listening to your local holiday station. Plus stations playing all kinds of holiday music, Christmas classics, Christmas jazz, country, R&B, tons of playlists, even podcasts. Yay! Our gift to you, the perfect holiday soundtrack. Join the millions of listeners on the iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
iHeartRadio. The free iHeartRadio app is #1 for music, radio, and podcasts, all in one. Discover a new podcast from our library of over 350,000 titles. Here's an iHeartRadio podcast preview.
America from a Dolly's Eye View is this quivering mass of irreconcilable contradictions.
I'm going to be both. I'm going to be adored by church ladies and the gays.
Yeah, the sexuality, the spirituality, the sensuality. That's exactly who I am.
She's just a beautiful fountain of goodness.
It's me.
In terms of cultural power, I think she's like second to Walt Disney.
This is Jed Abumrad from Radiolab and More Perfect. For the last 2 years, I've been following Dolly Parton around the world. Trying to figure out who she is.
You'd be surprised to know who I am.
That's why we're here. We're trying to find
I know, but you're never going to find everything out. I'm a mystery to myself.
I'm trying to answer the seemingly simple question, what is Dolly Parton's America?
Well...
Answers coming soon on Dolly Parton's America.
Listen and follow this podcast for free on the iHeartRadio app. #1 for music, radio, and podcasts all in one.
It's the Craig Way Show with the voice of the Longhorns, Craig Way. Weekdays 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
Big 12 Championship Week right here on the Hardge Knocks Life on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone. The Texas Longhorns will go to Arlington to face a familiar foe, Mike Gundy, and the mullet out there doing his thing as his Oklahoma State Cowboys take on the Longhorns this Saturday, 11 a.m. kickoff at Jerry World. Speaking of kickoff and 11 a.m., we will be at Cover 3, Anderson Lane, this Saturday for a watch party. And Salty will be there, myself, and AM 1300. We will have a good time. For those that are not making the trip up there, we have prior engagements that need to be in town. So, hey, look, Texas Longhorns, handle your business. We'll be cheering loud for you.
With chicken tendies.
There we go, with her chicken tendies.
Cover 3's got the best one.
So yesterday, the schedule came out for next season, the SEC schedule and the opponents. They didn't give us particular days and where it was going to be, but, oh, yes, they did. They did give us days. That's right. But the Texas Longhorns schedule, home and away, was released yesterday. And Texas, they got a nice one. Away games will be at Arkansas, the neutral site game against Oklahoma. They go to Texas A&M, which will be the Saturday after Thanksgiving. So you're going to be fired up for it by that time anyway, and they will travel to Nashville to take on Vanderbilt. Home schedule, folks, you are going to enjoy the home schedule. Florida, Georgia, Kentucky, and Mississippi State. You will be getting ready to see both coaches. Texas A&M got their new coach, Mike Elko, and the coach that was going to go to A&M until all the news broke out, Mark Stoops, will still be at Kentucky. So you will have some really good home games if you're a Texas Longhorn fan. The Aggies, you will face Auburn, Florida, Mississippi State, and South Carolina on the road. And your home games will be Arkansas, LSU, Missouri, and Texas. Fun times right there for a lot of good people. Oklahoma fans, you go to Auburn, LSU, Missouri, and Ole Miss. You have home games against Alabama, South Carolina, Tennessee, and, of course, you travel to Dallas to take on the Texas Longhorns. That's going to be a fun schedule moving forward because you start thinking about it and you're looking at all these teams and who they're going to play and where they're going to be played at. You get new blood. If you're a Texas Longhorn fan, you get a chance to see some teams you never have seen in person probably because they've been in SEC country. So this is going to be a fun time to be in the SEC if you're a Texas Longhorn fan. Your season tickets, they are really good season tickets now because everybody used to complain about their season tickets. In case you missed this earlier in the show, I was talking about Texas A&M and the search for their new head coach and the blueprint that was out there that they said they did their research and this was the blueprint. And I made the statement of the blueprint has always been out there. So why wouldn't you go to, if you want to invest money, why wouldn't you go to someone like Warren Buffett and check out his blueprint? Because he's shown the way to success. And Salty, being who she is, being the Salty one, decides this is what's going on with Warren Buffett right now. If you want to win, and it's just like people that want to be good investors, look at the model of Warren Buffett. Like, why would you go somewhere else so you could go to?
Oh, wait, no, he's not dead.
Like,
that's Jimmy Buffett.
Doing?
How many Buffets we got?
If
Warren Buffett dies, it is not on me.
Salty's fault. I will tell you
I'm
that.
so sorry.
She is giving the kiss of death to literally the kiss of death.
Is he going to take me out of the will?
As she confused him with Jimmy Buffett, who passed away earlier this year.
Half right.
Yeah, you are
half right.
Why? Because of the last name?
Half right. Yep.
Yeah, oh my goodness. So not only is she doing that, yesterday, in case you missed the opening of the show, She was talking about she fell into bushes. She fell into her bush coming out of the house. And she didn't do it today,
Not
though,
today.
folks. She made sure
I'm
she
bush free.
she avoided the bush today, folks. I mean, Salty is never a dull moment with you around. That is for sure.
Try to spice it up with a little salt.
You got a lot of seasoning that's going on there. The salty one being just herself. Thank y'all for tuning in today. We'll be better tomorrow. And there will be more conversation about this Big 12 championship game. We will also talk about all the other games. We'll preview the Dallas Cowboys as they get ready for Thursday night football. But most importantly, come and hang out with us again. Don't believe everything you see, because even salt looks like sugar. Peace.
AM 1300 The Zone is KVET Austin. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app for all your sports talk, podcasts, and music. Free never sounded so good. You're out, you're about, but you want your Dan Patrick. Welcome.